Game Theory and Strategy Explained. Written by Akdeniz. Narrated by David Willams. Introduction. Game theory has evolved since its inception, but at its root it is the modeling of strategic interactions between two or more players where there is a set of rules and outcomes. This basic definition gets to the heart of what game theory is, and this can be applied to almost any situation in your life and your business. Regardless of your status, as an entrepreneur or one of the employed, this theory can serve you well. It can help you develop strategic approaches to real-life situations where you predict with remarkable accuracy the best possible route towards the best possible outcomes. If you wanted to have a crystal ball, one that helps you predict the future, then game theory would be as close to that crystal ball as you can get in real life. Game theory and strategy go hand in hand. In fact, they are like the big brother and little brother of social interaction. Where game theory is the big brother, used to guide you along the way, strategy is the little brother, needing guidance, and who cannot exist successfully in the absence of big brother. They, therefore, have a tandem and reciprocal relationship. This is also a useful tool in the study and practice of economics. Strategic interactions between two or more companies, as well as the analysis of sectors and industries, are just some of these economic applications. There are a few other applications of game theory, some that you might not even be aware of, but that exist all the same. You can get your head in the game of life completely with the use of this phenomenal science. Let us start with the basics of game theory, just to give you a little bit of insight into the science. You will see from the explanations in the following chapter that there is nothing scientific about the terminology of this discipline. The ways that it can be applied to your business strategy might be a little more complicated though, but that is discussed in another chapter. For now though, let us discuss briefly the basics of game theory. Chapter 1. The basics of game theory. Game theory can be used to determine the most likely outcomes whenever you have a situation where two or more players are involved and where there are quantifiable outcomes and known payouts. There are a few terms that are common in the study of game theory, and these are discussed below. Game. Any one of the sets of circumstances that has results that are dependent on the actions of two or more players. Players. Any one of the strategic decision makers within the context of any game. Information set. Information that is available at any point in the game, usually when the game has a sequential component. Payoff. The payout for arriving at a particular outcome, anything from dollars to utilities, received by players. Equilibrium. The point where all players have made their decisions and reached an outcome. Strategy. A complete plan of action that the player takes given the set of circumstances that may arise in the game. You can make a number of assumptions with game theory too, as with any other concept in economics. These are assumptions of maximization and rationality. You assume that all the players in the game are rational and that they will maximize their individual payoffs. You can also apply the rationality principle to investors as well. If you examine games that are already set up, it is assumed that the listed payouts include the sum of all payouts associated with that particular outcome. This saves you from the what-if scenario. While the number of players in a game can theoretically be infinite too, we consider most games in the context of two players. The simplest games to consider, therefore, are sequential games with two players. This is the basic concept of game theory. It is not a full discussion of what this phenomenon entails, however, but this is not needed for the purpose of this book. What is important to know is how you can use game theory in the planning and execution of your strategies, especially in a business. Let us now discuss briefly what strategy is, in the context of game theory, before we tackle the application of game theory to your strategy research. Chapter 2. Strategy defined. A game is a series of interactions between players where the outcomes are based not only on the actions of one player, but also on the actions or inactions of the other players involved. The strategy is the option
Sample complete. Ready to continue?